Welcome to Stargate SG1 for the first time, still not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I'm watching Stargate SG1 for the first time.
You started that so dark.
Did I?
You're like, welcome to Stargate SG1 for the first time. I was like, whoa, Jeff, where are we going with this one today?
Let yourself in.
Right?
I promise I won't keep you for long. I'll keep you forever.
All right, this just got weird. My name is Brent Allen. Do what now?
I don't think this is a scary one. I should just stop. So go.
My name is Brent Allen. I am watching SG1 for the 47th time, but for the first time, I am going through this series looking for those sci-fi messages. What Stargate is trying to teach us. How do we be better human beings to one another? Can we have hope that things will someday be better in the future, which is awesome for a show that is not set in the future.
Very much set in the past. And in a way...
in the present. It's set in the present, which
set in the present,
90s.
But the past of the present.
Yeah.
In a way, though,
mm-hmm.
Stargate from the past really reflects what we're going to do today. It's basically a message in a bottle. That bottle happens to be Prime Video for us, but a bottle nonetheless. When I heard this episode was going to be called Message in a Bottle, I predicted that we're going to go somewhere and they're going to run into some artifact that they're going to bring back. It's going to be some alien thing that is destroying stuff. Maybe it's got radiation, maybe some sort of something, but that's actually this alien's way of trying to communicate. Sam's going to be the one to pick up on that, try to work through it.
You're a good guesser, Jeff.
You're so kind.
You're a good guesser.
Great. You are good at telling us about these episodes. Is there anything cool about this one?
It aired on August 7th, 1998. That's it.
Pretty cool.
That is the limit of where it is.
Right.
But with that, there'll be more to discuss on the back end of this, I'm sure.
We'll see.
We'll find out. We'll find out. I will tell you, Jeff.
I'm getting a little worried right now.
Well, this is one of those episodes, you know, when we started and we were talking about like the messages, I'm like, yeah, there's really not going to be that many messages. This is one of those where I'm kind of going, yeah, I think I know what the message is going to be there, and it's going to be kind of boring. Because it's a message that we've done 1,000 times. So I'm really hoping I'm going to be surprised. I've been surprised so many times going through these episodes. So
stay tuned to see if Brent is pleasantly surprised or if he's just bored.
Yes, you can skip to the future. You can skip to the future, especially if you're listening to the audio podcast, because this is going to be real easy. Because in the audio podcast, Jeff, what's about to happen is we're going to do like something, like sound drop, sound bite, something, and then it's going to appear like 45 minutes later. And the reason it's going to be 45 minutes later is we're going to watch the episode right now, which is going to take us about 45 minutes. We're going to do it right now.
Exactly. We're going to watch it. If you were watching us on YouTube, you're going to see our reaction video, kind of edited down, and we're going to react, and then we're going to talk about it. If you are one of our incredible patrons, you've joined our Patreon community, which you can do by clicking the link down below or in the show notes. We're in the process of maybe changing it, so I'm not even going to say it. We give you the link. It's easier to click it than say it anyway. But if you go to our Patreon,
people are like, how long are you guys going to be in this process for?
I know.
Holy cow.
We're planners is what we are. We're really good at planning. Let me rephrase that. We're really good about meeting to plan. But if you are one of our incredible patrons, you get to see this unedited masterpiece that Brent and I have been working on. And just for context, if you are listening to the audio or any of the YouTube, we're almost 8 minutes into the full what Patreon gets. So there's quite a bit there. But speaking of there being quite a bit, Brent, how about we start Message in a Bottle and see what's in there?
Let's do it.
They on the moon.
Anybody home?
Jack, it may as well be the moon out here.
It is.
If there ever was anybody home, they've been gone 100,000 years or more.
Though it once supported life, it is now extinct.
Well, the probe picked up an EM source coming from something.
I guess that thing.
Is that an alien artifact sitting there? Or a bomb? It almost looks like the big rolly bomb in Fast X that I just watched today.
At the same EM frequencies we picked up from the probe. Sir, this artifact or whatever it is definitely the source.
Dude, I'm getting good at
So
this.
let's touch it.
Are we in
Let's take
danger?
this thing that has this
No,
source
sir,
of all
I
this
don't think so, not
radiation
at
and
the
EM
moment.
surge and go back home with it.
But, I mean, this is incredible. If Daniel's right, this artifact has been doing this since Neanderthals were still a dominant species on Earth.
Last time we touched a
that
crystal
takes
or
me
something that had an energy
Look at
output,
this
that went
writing
really
of
well.
some kind. It's so tiny. I'm trying to make a threat assessment here, Captain.
I don't know what it is, sir, but it's got a power source more advanced than anything we've ever come across,
More-
including the glow.
More invested in the little
Time
dropper
You,
stuff.
you know what I appreciate about this, about these costumes, real quick?
Well, that's an educated guess.
They don't
see
have
their faces
lights.
very clearly.
You don't have lights inside the helmets. Like if you watch whenever they put helmets on any kind of sci-fi, especially Star Trek, they always have lights inside the helmet, which clearly you got to illuminate what's going on so you can see what's happening. These guys don't have that in there, and I
Much
always
more
see that and go,
realistic.
people don't really have lights inside their helmets, do they?
They have exactly what Daniel has, a flashlight in their hand.
Yeah, and we can see your face if it just comes through the visor. So you know
Mhm.
what's interesting though is they in no way, shape, or form can hide the lights that they have on the set.
Right? You can
in
see
their,
it right
in
there.
the reflections. Yeah.
I mean, imagine what you could learn about your
Isn't
own
this how the
fate.
inner light started?
When a Goa'ul's world is taken by another in battle,
Sorta.
he will sometimes leave behind the means to destroy the conqueror.
You think it might be
And it was a
booby trap?
probe, but
Booby.
Did you catch
I
that?
don't think we're talking about
Yeah.
the gold here. I mean, whoever the civilization
Because
was
I'm
Very
13 years
Simpsons.
old, Jeff.
coming, you know it. I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't you leave something
Because I'm
behind?
13 years
Something
old.
that told whoever came after.
so's
who
Jack.
you were,
It's
or
fine.
how you died. Yes. I mean, imagine what you
I
could
have to
learn about
imagine
your own
this
fate.
shot took
When a Goa'ul's world is taken
15,
by another in battle,
20
he
takes.
will sometimes leave behind the means to destroy the conqueror.
You think it might be a booby trap?
Well, I don't think we're talking about the gold here. I mean, whoever the civilization
more of a Beavis
was,
and
they went to
Butthead
great
thing than a
pains to
Simpsons
leave
Hey,
this artifact.
real quick, what is a ghost's favorite kind of bee?
A
A booby.
booby.
Family friendly show, Jeff.
Really, whose isn't?
Like a message in a bottle.
He said the thing.
He said the thing.
Buying this deal? The benefit may outweigh the risk.
Earth could sure use a power source that lasts for thousands
Juice
of
might be
years.
worth the squeeze.
All right, pack it up.
Yeah, but what's it actually going to power?
Yes, sir.
I don't need a
What's it
flashlight to
gonna
run
blow
that
up?
long. Okay, so they're going
You
to
can power a flashlight.
now the ceiling's going to drop down and a big ass boulder is going to come rolling.
Yep. Seen this before. It did something.
Well, it's crying because they're stealing it and taking it away from its home. It's leaving its family, and now it's.
I wonder if like they're gonna keep it, and while they keep it, the planet's gonna start regenerating. Like it's been holding the planet down this whole time.
You're a good guesser. So there you go, Jeff. Let's hear. Your thing was alien artifact civilization trying to tell us who they were, and this is how they communicate.
Basically,
Damn.
I said everything that Sam and Daniel said so far.
So if nothing
This
else,
might-
and I'm going to confirm or not confirm that that's actually how this episode goes, but that's where they're wanting us to lead right now.
Everything goes planned, Colonel? Oh, one small step, one giant leap, that kind of stuff, sir.
We'll debrief in 1 hour. Welcome
Okay,
home,
time out.
SG1.
I'm sorry. You open a Stargate. You send a probe through to go, is this a safe planet for us to send folks to?
Yep.
Your probe sends you back images of this desert gray barren moon.
Total moon.
Your sensors say there's no breathable atmosphere, there's no whatever, but we're picking up this faint signature over there. Go get on spacesuits and go and check it out. Really? That's cleared for
Can I-
mission protocol?
Can I wear a bulletproof vest under my astronaut outfit?
Like, I just
What is that thing?
Aren't those spacesuits like made specifically for the person that's in them too?
I think so.
Like
I
they
think so.
can't be
Well, we
cheap.
can add 2 more elements to the periodic table.
We've got a spike, an EM spike across the wideband.
On the y-axis.
Interior temperature is increasing 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 600%.
Sir, I recommend we return the artifact to P5C353 now.
I like
Go
that
tell
she
them
took the
start
time
dialing.
to say every single one of those
Go.
letters.
Yeah.
Orders agrees. Start dialing in P5C353 right away.
Whose order?
Colonel O'Neill.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Jackson.
Daniel walks in and Hammond goes, by whose order? Mine.
is still increasing, 110
I just told you.
We'll need to put our suits back
I'm
on.
Daniel,
There's no time
MF,
for
and
that. We'll
Jackson.
just
That's
open the
who.
gate and back through.
I figured out how to turn the damn
Give me
thing
a hand
on.
here.
Turn on the gate. Uh-oh.
He does not wish to be removed.
Oh, that's too damn bad.
Little arrow spikes.
It's hard to tell what like Yeah. It's like,
They just shot out like pufferfish style.
There's my guy. There's
For
my
the
guy.
record, they're dialing Abydos right now, according to the symbols.
Oh, they're probably just replaying the clip.
Yeah. Throw it. I stay right here. I stay here.
Get out of there!
Whoa.
And it's going to kind of build this as its spot. Oh! Go right through his throat?
Get security
No,
down there.
it's
Put
shoulder.
the base on full alert.
We need a medical team.
Security to the
shoulder.
embarkation room.
That looked a little closer to the chest, but it's actually supposed to be his shoulder.
Yeah, I thought it was like right up in here.
Yeah.
Still, my gosh. Right above the heart. That's good.
Sir,
He's literally hanging on that
Stargate.
thing. Like all the weight is pressing down on that. Like that's how that's you slowly rip more, you know? Look at that thing. Has some cool coloration. I like the bend in the
It's, yeah.
Goes right through his shoulder into the concrete.
Oh my God.
Get something to support his
Yeah,
leg.
please. It's great that he's not bleeding. That's pretty amazing.
Tell me,
well,
I
it's,
don't know, but
it's
Okay, it's hot. It's hot.
cauterize the wound.
this wound is too clean. There should be blood.
Oh.
I don't know why there wasn't more trauma.
Where the hell is Teal? I suggest you observe from the control room. Everybody out of here.
I suggest you GTFO.
But wait for us to close the blast doors first, Teal.
Because we don't know how much.
Here,
of
you
that
put
staff
this lead
energy
thing
will
on
be
you. I'm going to go in the
transferred
other
to the
room behind
Your objection
all
is no.
these feet of steel. But you'll be fine. Oh! Wrong move.
no change.
Sir, it just absorbed the energy.
A lot of energy.
This weapon is ineffective. I shall try another.
No!
Colonel O'Neill, this is going to take some time.
It was trying to reestablish itself, kind of like it was on the moon. Like it had built this kind of
this thing.
enclosure for it, and setting up shop here.
So I'm not a medical doctor,
I don't really give a damn what Colonel Mayborn has to say.
but
on
at
the
some
subject.
point, like really quick, if not already, he's going into shock.
Oh, 100%. Like if he does,
You know? Yeah.
it's mind blowing to me in a way he hasn't passed out. Like
Yeah.
not even shocked, but just completely
Yeah.
passed out.
Yeah.
He's just that hardcore.
I've made my decision. Unless I'm ordered to do otherwise, I'm not allowing anyone in or out of this facility until we can send the damn thing back where it came from.
General, I don't know what to say. I wanted the artifact to be something wonderful.
You have nothing to apologize.
It still
for,
might
son.
be.
We brought things back from all
Just,
over
I mean,
the galaxy.
Jack was in
One
the
of them's
way.
finally snapped us in the ass.
We managed to collect a significant amount of data before it hit the fan, sir.
Then I suggest you get to it. Dismissed.
That's a good leadership.
Maybe you should
moment
move
there,
your
though,
briefing.
No,
Yeah.
hey, stop though. It's a great leadership moment from Hammond there. Like your team member is down on himself, and to sit there and take a moment and define reality and go, you have nothing to be sorry for.
Yeah.
And you said it just
It's-
like, no, it still might be.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what you do. You have to validate what he feels first, right? Yeah, I can understand how with everything that's happened, you would feel that you've let us down or whatever. But I mean, knowing what you knew, you did the right thing. And heck, we don't even know what we're dealing with yet. And then Sam pops in with, yeah, we got a whole bunch of data on it. Well, then there you go. Because the other cool thing he does from a leadership standpoint is he gives them a task. He's not like, yeah, that sucks. Good luck, bro. And walks off. He's like, yeah, it's probably going to whatever. Also, you got data. Go to work. Go do this thing. And so it's a combination of let's keep you busy, but also let's get value of everything going on right now. We can control what we can learn from what we got.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Yeah. Hammond's great. There's a ton of great leadership in this show. It's awesome.
Dude, the SGC Leadership Academy.
This is Hammond. Lock up the mountain. Authorization code red-beta.
I feel like that's
Initiate
that's such a Star Trek thing. Authorization Picard Alpha 47.
Right? Exactly. Totally. But initiating wildfire, that doesn't sound good.
Quarantine is now in effect.
So obviously we're dealing with a weapon.
That's
It's an assumption. I agreed.
All right.
I think it's just doing what it's supposed to do. If Jack wasn't in the way and he didn't get, shot through the shoulder with that, this wouldn't be a huge emergency. I mean, they'd be concerned, hey, how do we this thing, whatever. But the fact he was like when you think about that, like we have this big sense of fear and criticality and urgency right now because he was 6 inches, to the wrong side. I'm not belittling that or minimizing it, but it just makes me wonder, like, if he wasn't there and this thing shot out and kind of anchored itself in the wall, would they be taking this extreme of action with everything?
I just want to say, Jeff, I love your assumption right there.
I made an assumption?
Yes, you did. I'm gonna give you a second
the-
to see if you can figure out what your assumption is.
I have a couple.
And
I made a
I'm
couple
not
of-
saying
one
whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you
Yeah.
made an assumption yourself right now. You know what it is?
I made an assumption that it would have done that it was arbitrary, that like it wasn't trying to catch Jack. I also made an assumption that it's a part of its programming and would have happened otherwise. So yeah, I made a couple of assumptions.
You made an assumption that it was just arbitrary and not just, hey, those first couple it shot out missed.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not. I just, it occurred to me as you were saying that. I was
Yeah.
like
this could have been planned.
It's mobile
Who says
like a
that it was like
bacteria,
that?
But small like a virus and slightly radioactive. Definitely alien. And they also seem to bond in chains.
It's gonna get a little dark in there for just a few seconds while we try something.
We have a black light, and then Daniel's like, "Wait, no!" let me clean
At least
something
it's
up.
not a
first."
hotel room.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Yeah, they just happen to have these big, huge ass UV lights in there. Like, really?
Why not? Why not?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's not structural. That's like a vein. That iris is draining its main vein into Jack.
Dang it. Daniel, what you doing here?
What's happening
Uh-oh,
to me?
Jeff, look up.
Oh, he's got this stuff too.
Well, he touched him.
This is the story of how COVID happened. They found it. They found this artifact.
25
They
years
touched it.
early. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
This organism can eat through virtually any substance
22 years
in
early.
concrete.
What I'm understanding, though, is
Captain, I need your honest
he might say
assessment.
nothing in or out. We're doing wildfire. But this thing's spreading through the concrete and the wires. Like, it's going to get out. Your doors aren't going to hold it back. Good protocol, probably not going to be very effective.
Can we beat this thing?
Well, like the Colonel always says, never give up, right?
Never going to give you up.
It won't take us
There's a
without
really
fight,
good
sir.
and really tough lesson here that, like,
Damn right.
God, and oh man, this is going to be triggering to some people. I don't mean it to, so just
We're
trigger
stopping
warning
this episode
on.
like every 30 seconds. Go ahead, man.
I know it's, what Sam is saying, and I think this is really important, is there's not a lot we can do. We got tetracycline, but we're all a little bit infected, and it's working its way through stuff. Which, sorry everyone, but it's when mankind, humankind, whatever, comes to an end, it's going to be a virus. And it's going to be a person in, like here in SG1 or in the SGC saying, yeah, I know I'm already infected and I know I'm not supposed to leave, but I have a right to do what I want to do, so I'm going to leave anyway. And then we've all seen the movie, everyone dies. That's what Sam basically just said is going to happen.
I am here, O'Neill.
I wonder if the Gould keeps Tilk
It's hot.
pure, or
Fever burns
inoculated from it. The answer is to give everyone a Gould.
The symbiote I carry appears to protect
Look
me.
at that.
It's his
anticipating
force
my
field, man.
questions.
Go, Junior.
Powerful plot armor.
Dr. Fraser will find the cure.
Yeah, I like how you can see it in the walls and stuff. That's really cool.
Undomesticated equines could not remove me.
Wild horses.
Wild horses.
Wild horses, Duke.
You got a real bromance going.
Sir,
That's really good.
just about through here.
Wow.
It's moving.
Oh, man. It's not going well for Jack.
It will not allow us to free you, O'Neill.
I wonder if it needs him. Like, does it need a life form there to something?
Like how Tilk's holding on to the pipe.
General,
While
Sam,
he's
have something.
getting it.
Yeah.
It's got to feel good.
What is he doing?
Tilk is trying to stop the spread of the organism at the source.
Tell him to stop.
Why? It seems to be working.
Only because the fire is temporarily consuming the oxygen in the room. It feeds on energy. Sir, I'm asking you to trust me.
Tilk,
Stand out.
Love that.
we're going
Asking
to
you to
try
trust me.
another approach.
Okay, done. That's a given. I trust you. We'll do the thing that we
I
said.
like that
you
Teal
usually-
immediately responds.
The
as well.
organism needs oxygen to reproduce.
Yeah, like that was just
Now,
this
since
really
we're on
great
internal power and life
sequence
support,
right there.
We can adjust the CO2 scrubbers and lower the oxygen levels.
How low are we talking?
We'll start at 8%, but we have to start now.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
General Hammond, sir. I think you should see this.
Auto self-destruct has been initiated.
I didn't touch a thing. The self-destruct countdown just started on its own.
General?
Hey, General, I think you should see this. Oh, wait for it. It's about to start. We're going to be caught by surprise in 3, 2. Oh, look, there it goes. We're caught by surprise.
Like, who knew?
Told you should come see this.
We have a responsibility to make sure the organism does not leave the mountain, Captain.
With all due respect, sir, I don't think you understand. It can feed on the energy from a staff blast. How far do you think it will spread if the auto-destruct goes off?
I need 2 officers to override.
How high up do they need to be an officer? Because she's just a major. Captain. She's a captain. What is she?
He said officer, right? So maybe it's just officer. So I want to clarify a thing that I heard and just make sure I'm reading this right. He says, hey, wildfire means nothing in or out.
Right.
But there's also a timer on wildfire that at some point it says, hey, you've been wildfired too long. You're going up in flames.
Pretty much it.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear. And she's like, we're going to supercharge this bad boy with that.
They won't recognize our codes.
The device's internal clock has been activated. We can't stop it without the computer.
And in just under 3 hours, the organism will be fed enough energy to spread across the face of the Earth.
Dun, 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 dun. Cue. Dramatic music cue. Not the face of the Earth.
Why, that's the Earth's moneymaker right there.
I gotta get back to work.
Could you make it dormant and then Stargate it out into space somewhere? Where there is like a vacuum or something?
What's he doing?
Well, you'd have to have a gate floating out in space to do that.
Well, there's that moon. Send it back there. Like,
I think that moon is actually supposed to be a planet that just happens to look like our moon. You know, have you ever heard of the point of diminishing returns?
Yeah.
Like they've hit that spot.
That's why I don't allow anyone to work a shift.
Look, it's the
over 10
Avengers
hours.
logo. It's the Avengers.
That symbol's on the artifact.
Can we screenshot it? Can we what?
It's trying to communicate
It's
with us.
1998. We don't know what that is.
It's trying to communicate with us because it puts this thing
I
on
think
there.
what we thought was gibberish on all the computers was actually the aliens' attempt to communicate with us. The point is that they're trying.
I think they're trying.
We haven't even begun to consider that what we're up against here is an alien intelligence. We've treated it like a disease, like a plague. Not once have we stopped to listen.
How do we do that?
We
Let it grow.
What?
Let it grow.
We increase the oxygen levels even higher than normal. We
Don't
hit it with
hold
another
it
staff
back
weapon blast.
anymore.
We let it do what it's been trying to do.
The exact opposite of the advice you've
Yes,
been giving me up to
exactly.
now. Which is it, Captain?
General, sir, we both know what will happen if we don't try something.
What we're doing isn't working. We need to try something different. Yeah? We
Which
can
is the
agree?
exact opposite, and it's going to make happen exactly what we've been trying to stop.
Which
But it
is
might
the
make
thing
the
we
thing-
actually need to have happen.
Dr. Frazier says the organism bonds together in chains.
Communicate with the organism through Jack.
Yes, I think that's what it's been trying to do all along.
I finally get to bring Mass Effect to Stargate. I'm so excited. In Mass Effect 1, there's a creature called the Thorian. Thorian is this plant that basically consumes the whole, like the planet culminates in this plant. It's an intelligent plant, but what it does is it grabs like beings and kind of like grows a thing in them, and then those beings speak, like it becomes their translator. So you're like, the Thorian could take you over and you're telling me, hey, stop drilling in this thing or stop doing whatever. And I'm not talking to Brent anymore. I'm talking to the Thorian. That's what they're doing here. But this, yeah, this is cool. This is cool.
You might not survive it.
You don't have a right to choose. We're going to make you do it anyway. But
But we're going to tell you what's happening. Which again, military. She's going above and beyond by telling him what they're going to do. Clear.
No pulse.
Well, that wasn't planned.
no.
Toke's not going to be good with that. If Jack's really dead, Toke. Oh. And he's got glowy eyes.
Good morning,
Uh-huh.
campers.
It's got the weird voice.
Millennia ago, our world was dying. We will multiply and
So-
consume
Not good guys.
your world.
Not bad
If
guys,
you would
though,
allow us to
necessarily.
restore our communications, we could stop that from happening.
Before G881.
Of course.
It's primordial. Lots of oxygen and sunlight, like this world was 250 million years
The
ago.
place we were supposed to be right now.
Stargate without the computers.
You would send us there through your Stargate.
We would,
For what reason?
so that we both may survive.
We'll take you there ourselves. Please.
Everything just shut down.
How flexible are you? It's time for you to kiss your butt goodbye. Here we go.
Auto self-destructing. 2 minutes.
Sir, I think the computers
Jeff, how close are we going to get to 0 boom before it gets stopped?
Oh, at 1. It's going to go to 1.
You think it's going to be at 1? I think we're
It's gonna
too
do this,
far.
2.
I think we're too far deep in the 90s to get all the way to 1. But it could be like 9 or 4 or something. I do not remember
So
what
3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Did you see it pull it out? He's gonna get to the gate and just go. It's all good. I just want to see
my Chevron, dude.
Jack like bowl that ball through the gate.
Shot put.
Stick it behind his ear. But literally, this is what Jack was trying to do before.
But it didn't know. It didn't know where it was going to send. Thought he was trying to like send it away back to where it was.
Right.
Had no reason to trust them. Was afraid.
Ow. On the ramp, that metal grated ramp that's got stuff in it to keep you from slipping down. Like,
oh, it got to 1.
Auto self-destruct aborted.
The good thing Hammond's a fast typer. Yeah, look at that angle. Dude, that had to hurt so bad.
each one of those grates, like just right in the back of the head.
Nice work. It was good to see you alive and well, you.
Welcome back, Jack.
I thought you were
Welcome
gone for
back,
good, sir.
Jack.
Wild horses, Captain.
All right, Jeff. I'd like to say, first of all, welcome back to our audio podcast listeners. You guys are amazing. Jeff, we've just watched Message in the Bottle for the first time. Typically, I let you go first. I'm going to go first on this one.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to go first on this one. I'm calling an
Why not?
audible. Well, I'm going to be real short and sweet. I got no chevrons on this one. I've seen this episode so many times in so many different ways, and they still did nothing with it. It was just plot all the way through. I might be able to pull like some random thing out here and there, but as far as mirror to society, better hope for the future, how do we be better humans to one another, it's not like that was a altruistic alien society that was trying to just communicate. No, they were like, yeah, well, I guess we're going to take over your world now. They're bad, so we got to get rid of you. The only thing I can maybe give you is talking is better than force.
Mm-hmm. You're close. Keep going. Keep going. There's a
What you
message
got?
here, and you're right. You're
All right.
right up against it.
All right, tell me, Jeff, because
So they're not bad at all. They were programmed. Everything that was set up was you're going to end up on where you're supposed to end up, and when you do, when like you're oxygenated and activated, when you're awakened, go multiply and go repopulate your world. They weren't being malevolent in like, oh, we're going to come and take over this world. They were, oh, there's energy here and they're feeding us oxygen. This must be the place we're supposed to go. And then when it all came to a head, they were like, look, like we're here. Get used to it. Like this is what's happening. We're going to multiply and do it. We were backed into a corner and we did the thing. And Hammond's like, well, you can't be here. Part of the lesson here, and this is more of a leadership thing than a chevron thing, but just because you see, there's no possible, oh, we have no thing. You just need to look at it from a different angle. Pull the y-axis and look at it from that direction. This is where diversity really comes into play in things where someone's going to look at this differently than you. So we had two different species, and this 100,000-year-old species was like, we're supposed to find a place, be turned on, and multiply. Like that's our biological directive. Hammond is like, no, I don't see it that way. I have a different perspective than you, and that perspective is we can both win. Well, that's kind of cool. Here's the lesson, though. Judo, Aikido. When bad things that you don't understand come at you, don't oppose them. Don't fight them. Don't push back. Don't look at them automatically as a bad thing and try and get rid of them. Roll with it. Roll with those things and find a way to understand them. What I found, this really hit me in two places. The first was when they started talking about the big shot through his shoulder, and they're like, there's no trauma, there's no blood, there's no nothing. And there's kind of a throwaway line that it cauterized on the way through, but also no trauma around it. Cauterization leaves a lot of trauma. Like that's
Well, did you see when it pulled out, he had nothing.
and nothing there.
He had no
Exactly.
wound.
It's
He had
just-
no wound. There was a hole in his jacket, but there was no wound.
So there were. I get that they were like it's naive to say, oh, they shouldn't have seen it as a threat or whatever, but also there were hints along the way, and I think. Oh gosh, as I'm talking about, there's so much more to it. Sam did the right thing in saying, hey, this is dangerous. It's attacking Jack. We need to do something to shut it down. But as soon as she got more information, she didn't hold on to that. She was like, I have new information. I can change my mind and I can do something different. I'm not locked on a path. So here's the message. Fear would have destroyed us. When we're afraid, we destroy. So instead of being afraid, we should be curious, and curious to a point that when we learn new things, we should adapt to those things and change our minds so that we can find a place where we can all win, we can all survive. As opposed to what we do now, where something new comes and it's scary and I'm afraid of it. So I'm going to make sure that there's only 2 types of bathrooms, and I'm going to make sure these books aren't there, and I'm afraid, I have fear, and so I'm going to destroy you, as opposed to, oh, well, now we know more stuff about this. We didn't know this before. I can change my mind and be curious about it. I would give this one 2 chevrons.
I'll meet you in the middle because I was going to give it 0. I'll meet you in the middle and give it 1, Jeff.
That's fair.
Meet you in the middle because a lot of that I'm sitting there going, yeah, no, you're stretching on that one. You're stretching on that one, but I'll give it to you. Like I said,
I don't think
there's something there. I'm kind of right there, but it just nothing about it just grabbed me. Was like, yes, this is where we're going. It's just here's a plot that's out there, and I think what you described is what is contained in that plot. This is one of those episodes to me, Jeff. A lot of sci-fi shows have done.
Yeah.
There's a reason you were able to call this episode out for exactly what it was prior to hearing it, because this is one of those shows that every sci-fi show has ever done. Alien artifact comes in, tries to take over some aspect of this. This was in Inner Light for Next Generation. You know what I mean? It turned out differently in that one, but that's where it is. So I'll meet you in the middle. I'll give it 1, and I feel really good about 1. I feel bad about 0.
1 is good. But let's talk about Inner Light.
But
what if Picard...
Yeah.
So what if Picard, when he went to that other planet, where he eventually, like in a short amount of time, he rolled with it. He's like, well, this is my reality now, so I'm going to get in. What if he never did that? What if he stayed afraid and never got curious and fought the whole thing? Then Inner Light would have been a very different episode, right? I'm not advocating for more. I guess I'm just really trying to drive the point home. I think it's an important message that, and it all came together when the Thorian, I'm going to call that thing the Thorian because it's what it is, out of Mass Effect, right? It's exactly the same as Mass Effect 2. Like even with the little growy stuff, it was perfect. But when the Thorian says fear would have destroyed us, like they see that. God, if we could, I don't know, if we could just internalize that as individuals, we could make a real difference in the world.
I agree with that message. I really do. I think it's a fantastic message. Here's the thing though. If this was the Inner Light, I think the question would have been, okay, these people have now downloaded their collective memory, their collective consciousness into Picard. The question is actually a little more Borgish than anything. Yeah, we're not if we leave you, we die as a society. We only exist in your memory, but we die as a society. So in order to save our society, tough noogies, we're just going to be here and take over your mind, and we'll all live through you. And, we don't have an indication they could take over other people as well, but just tough noogies, we're going to take you over. Oh, you mean we can go over here to these folks over here and they're actually cool with it? Okay, fine. Let's go there. But I hear what you're saying, Jeff. I hear what you're saying. There is definitely the big, especially with Star Trek, and I'm gonna hold this one up against the Star Trek piece. There's the you have to learn to talk to it. Once you learn about it, you see what they really want. Then guess what? You can come up with a solution. Once you talk, that's it. I'm gonna give it a 1. It's a 1 chevron deal. It's there. It's very basic. It's so basic. Jeff, that is all I have to say as far as Chevron's messages and all that sort of stuff. What I'm really interested in is, what did you, a first-time watcher, pick up from Message in a Bottle?
A couple just lore-ish things that came up. I learned the term Talak, which is a dead planet or an extinct planet.
Little Jaffa language there.
Yeah. We learned about wildfire. So when stuff is going south in the mountain, they initiate wildfire. Nothing goes in, nothing comes out. And after a certain amount of time, if they don't rescind wildfire, auto-destruct starts up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my favorite... So 3 hours.
We're going to give you 3 hours to sort this out or you're dead.
It's a lot of time, but it's really not.
Right.
At the same time. Two things. So let me just say, I dug this episode.
Really?
As I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, like, this isn't necessarily amazing, but this is a show, like, if this is one of those ones, it's on, I'm going to watch it. Like, oh, cool. This is a Message in a Bottle. I'm going to watch this one, which I can't say for some of the other episodes out there named Message in a Bottle. So it's a big thing. But there's two things specifically I loved about this episode. One was subtle. And we talked about it during the episode, but it bears repeating here. There is so much blind and unconditional trust between the people on the SG1 and Hammond together. So Sam's doing all the work here. You know, she's pulling all the pieces together. From the science standpoint, Daniel's working on the linguistic side of things, but Sam's really leading the charge. And she's telling Hammond, we have to do this. And at no point does he say, explain to me why. What other things have you done? Did you think about this thing? Did you experiment with that? She just says, we have to do this. And he goes, okay, do this. Done. Just like that. One time, that led to him telling Tilk to stop blowtorching things. Again, Tilk didn't question. He didn't push back. He didn't try and defend or explain what he was doing. He just stopped blowtorching. That's tight. That's great. That's a well-functioning machine right there. But the cool thing, like, one of my favorite relationships in television are just friendships. Like, no romance, no nothing. Like Janeway and Chakotay, no romance, just two professionals that are working together and have respect for each other. But also, like, when you can get two dudes or two ladies who are just like, they love each other, you know? Like, there's a deep thing, but it's not romantic. It's just a deep caring and love. And I think we have one of our first ones of those really budding between Jack and Tilk. It's so beautiful. He says, so, you know, Jack's he's pinned up to the wall and he's like, Tilk, you don't have to stick around, man. Like, this is boring. I get it. I'm just going to be hanging around. So, you know, I'll be here later if you want to swing by. And he says, undomesticated equines couldn't remove me from here. And then he's just deadpan. And Jack's like, you told a joke. But it was just this really cool moment that I think I've talked a lot about Tilk and how I really dig Tilk, but I like all the characters so far. And they've done a lot of work to develop them in a way that they can have a little exchange like that. And it's moving, you know, it's like, oh, I felt that. I mentioned the reference to Mass Effect. This is very much like the Thorian in Mass Effect 1, just a little more electronic than it. But yeah, all in all, good episode. I think I hit some of the other stuff I wanted to say when I was talking about the judo sort of stuff, but this was essentially what I thought it was going to be coming in, and I'm kind of excited about that, to be honest.
I got to be honest, Jeff. You and I are in two different places on this episode.
Really?
I've never liked this episode. It just feels slow. It feels plodding.
After we just watched Thor's Chariot, this feels slow?
Yes, this feels slow and plodding. Literally, he's just up against a wall the entire episode.
Yeah.
That's it. Just
powerful.
Yeah, I just it took him forever to get to it. You know, like I felt like you talked about Thor's hammer feeling like a 22-minute episode spread out over 42 minutes. This felt like a 16-minute episode to me, spread out over 40 minutes. I'm like, dude, come on. We got to do something more with this. There's just feels like there's something more. I got to tell you, perhaps I would have liked this episode better if Andy Dick had made a guest star appearance on it.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
So, but that's just Brent's opinion. What really matters here, Jeff, is Jeff's opinion. Because what Jeff gets to do is he gets to take these episodes and he gets to put them in our ranking, our definitive 100% completely accurate and immutable, unless he's wrong, ranking of season 2 of Stargate SG1. Our current top 5 right now, Jeff, is Serpent's Grasp, Serpent's Lair. That duology is sitting up at the top. Thor's Chariot, number 2, the one that you just disparaged, by the way. How dare you? In the Line of Duty, Need, The Gamekeeper, and Prisoners. Jeff, where would you place Message in a Bottle?
This is going to be a top 5 episode.
I don't disagree with that. Go ahead.
It's just a question really of where it's going to land. I'm pivoting around Need right now. And there's a lot about Need that I really enjoyed, but also it just got kind of like, I mean, it didn't blow it at the end like some of the other ones, but it was just drugs are bad. Okay. Don't do drugs. This kind of thing. So, which is disappointing, but also this one was kind of like, hey, read this stuff when it's in front. Do that. Try it out. Really, when you boil it down, that's the thing. So, yeah, I'm going to put this one as our new number 4, just above Need. And I see that you anticipated that as I was saying, like half a second before I said it, you were typing it because, I think that's
we've done a handful of these shows, Jeff. I get where you're going.
Once or twice, we've done a little bit of ranking.
For the record, I think I would have it here, but I do think that I would flip-flop Need and Gamekeeper. Gamekeeper would be my 5.
Really?
Need would be my number 6 here. Prisoners is still number 7 to me. But I might flip-flop Gamekeeper and Message in a Bottle. Because I rather enjoy the Gamekeeper episode. I think it's fun. I think it's funny. Okay. And I tend to
that's
if you
fair.
make me laugh, I can roll with you even if you're not that great. So Jeff, with that's gonna put a nice little bow. It's gonna put a pin on the nose of Message in a Bottle. Would you like to know what we're watching next week?
Yeah, sure.
An episode called Family. Jeff, if I were to ask you to venture a guess what Family is about, it is not the Next Generation episode. Sorry. What do you think? What do you think this one's going to be?
It totally could be the Next Generation one because what it's going to be is Jack was just hooked up to the Thorian and he had an entire like legion of people inside of him and it left. He's having a really hard time saying goodbye. So he's going to go back home, hang out with his brother. And we're going to see a whole thing. Why not? Okay, it's not going to be that.
Meet his smoking hot sister-in-law that there's a weird sexual tension with.
Family? Mm-hmm. You know, there's a family. Oh, okay. We've gotten looks into a couple of families. We got to look into Jack's family a little bit. Yeah. We got to Sam has a developing kind of family. With Cassandra or Cassie.
Oh yeah,
and right.
And Dr. Fraser. So it's Sam, Dr. Fraser, and Cassie. That's an interesting family unit right there.
Hey, you know what? She's gonna be well taken care of. I mean, you got 2 doctors.
Right.
That would be horrible to have 2 doctors as parents. Could you imagine?
Although I would venture to say that's more like Dr. Fraser is mom and Sam is like Aunt Sam.
Oh, that's fair. But still, that's family, right? It's all family. A family that we've touched on just a little bit, but is very germane to the Stargate story in full.
What's that?
The family of Daniel and Shara Jackson.
Ooh, okay.
Not hiding her hair of Shara for a long time. Back in Need, Daniel, he's going to get married to somebody else, and he was kind of all in, and it took Sam to remind him he was still married. I think this is going to be our first little glimpse at Shara.
Interesting. All right, Jeff. Well, hey, you are a good guesser. And
sure,
we'll find out next time if Jeff is right or so wrong.
Or how wrong he is.
Hey, listen, you guys join us next week on Stargate SG1 for the first time. Thank you for joining us this week. Please, wherever you are, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, this podcast, this audio feed, this whatever it is that you're consuming this show on. Be sure to share it with friends out there, people that love Stargate SG1 or somebody you know that just needs to feel a part of the family, to join the family, so to speak. So with that, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. I'm trying to get out of here before Jeff stops me. So I'll say see ya and so long.
Hey, Brent.
So close.
Oh my God. I got something on my shoulder. It hurts really bad. What is this thing?
crying out loud.